All right, we're back.
How's it going, man? You good?
It's going. Yeah, we are talking about some results, a sweet, sweet case study,
Case study day. I think this is our
some
first
hard
one.
proof.
Yeah,
Yeah,
some hard proof.
yeah, this is a good one.
I put a little
This
teaser
is
out
this is gonna
yesterday
be a good one.
on this one.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna go through some results. Do you want to kick off a little outline of setting it up, and then we can start
Yeah,
going
sounds
through it
good.
bit by bit?
So we started this campaign in late May, and then today we're at like August 6th or somewhere about there. So this is a local service client based in I think, third largest city in the US, or there about. Um,
Yep.
so the main point of this campaign was to help them rank higher in the map. So local SERPs nowadays, you've normally got some sponsored ads, and then it's the map that's right after, and then your organic. So even if your top spot organic, you've still got the map and the ads in front of you. So we put real emphasis on trying to rank, help our client appear in the map for all their main keywords. We got most of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially their biggest ones in terms of generates leads, inquiries, and then customers and ultimate revenue. So we put a real focus there. So yeah, we just went all out to get them in the map. We done a complete audit of their GBP. We created custom images in Canva, uploaded those into products, redone descriptions, added services. What else did we do? Correct service areas, expanded those out. We done
Did we do
cat.
neighborhoods on that one?
Yeah, we stacked it pretty well. Like
Yeah.
neighborhoods. Yeah,
Adding
yeah. So not
neighborhoods to the service areas. Yeah.
yeah, it's not
A
just
lot of
like
people don't do
saying.
that.
Yeah, it's something that 100%, man. People miss that all the time. And as well, yeah, just adds that relevance as well. So yeah, included that categories, got the categories right. Um, yeah, complete audit of that, and then we done about 300ish, 350 citations. So created 350 citations. Then try their best to get those indexed. So actually, the citations shown in Google,
Hmm.
um, using an indexer tool, and then we built PBN links to those citations, which is getting a bit into the weeds of it here. But then we built PBN links to those citations. We done some directions requests, so like a ring of directions around their profile. We done some guest posts with map embeds, so a guest post with a map embed as well. I think that ended up being like three in total. So like three guest posts with map embed, which
Yep.
isn't a lot. We didn't tier those, so they didn't have any tier 2 links pointing to them, the guest posts, just the citations. We didn't do any CTR manipulation on this. There was no CTR manipulation. And the site, we were working on the site from an organic standpoint as well. So that was really well optimized with service, location pages, and on all that good stuff as well. So I think that's everything that we worked on for this
Yeah.
one.
Okay. So when we started with them in May,
Yeah, let's share. So we use
and while you're pulling that up, I know everyone's third largest city. Okay, you can deduce Chicago.
yeah
Major market here. All right. So although it's been teetering between Chicago and Houston, but we won't get into that.
yeah
I will say everybody always wants to know what the category is. Um, I
mm,
guess the best way, and we have to protect clients and stuff, and also we
yeah
all know
man
how the internet works and how people are, but I would
yeah
say the closest I could get to saying something would be therapeutic services.
Nice.
So I'll just leave it at that. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So it's a premium, very premium products, very premium
Yeah.
services, high ticket stuff, super
Expensive.
competitive, very expensive. But anyways, all right, back to you. What are we looking at?
Yeah, you nailed it, man. So this is May 23rd. So as I said, we started this in late May. So you can see this is a 7x7 grid with a 3 mile radius covering Chicago. And you can see here, so like position 20 plus starting position for a lot of this on this grid here. I think the best result they had was, what have we got, ninth. So nothing in the top three at all when we started. Nothing at all. So yeah, we were. It's not like we were going from, I don't know, a good presence there already. We were literally starting like 20 plus on a lot of these, and it's not like the results. The results weren't 20 plus to like 4 or 5, which is still really not great because you only show the 3, which most people will be aware of. So
Yeah,
this is where we started on May 23rd. And then if we fast forward to today, or this might have been August 5th, yeah, so I took this yesterday. So this graph is 17 by 17 grid with a 3 mile radius, so it's actually more detailed than the last one.
yeah.
And yeah, we're number one. Yeah, number one across the board. So yeah, man, it kind of says it all.
Look at that. Look at that sprawl.
Sea of green.
Which,
yeah,
this is crazy. This almost feels, I remember the first time I saw this, I said something to you, it was like, this kind of feels photoshopped.
Photoshop, man.
I think mainly because like this is one of the few clients where, especially on this size of a grid, where we've seen like literal all ones across. There's usually some peppering that happens, but like it's unbelievable. You know how it's gotten to this point. Like this playbook has worked. We definitely threw our bigger playbook at this because it is a competitive market and it is a competitive service or sets of services. So I think that's probably why we're seeing that a bit more. But yeah, so like I guess through this, like, do we have any stats we can share in terms of like other metrics that this is essentially resulted in, or am I jumping ahead of
again, just to be with our client in mind and just not sharing too much of their information on here. So this isn't, we're not going to show too much, but again, just to like give more, I guess, background in terms of what that means. So this is just data pulled from their GBP. So versus July, I've just took July, so July of last year. So a 90% increase in people seeing their profile, and then a 143% increase on their business profile being shown in search results. What I will say is as well is that the keywords that people are finding their profile, the first brand keyword is fourth in that list. And then there's another brand variation, which I think was seventh, sort of the top 10. The keywords that are bringing people to their profile are bottom of the funnel.
Yeah, commercial service intent. People ready to acquire or utilize a service.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just even out of the top 10. So it's not even brand that's the strongest there. And this client does have quite a strong brand locally, so they are well known. And it's cool to see that their main keywords are sending more people to their GBP than clicks to their site or phone calls than what their brand terms are, which is always good, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, man, this is a banger. I'm super happy. Our client is definitely super happy as well. And yeah, we'll just replicate this out now for another few assets for them.
Yep.
So we just
they have multiple locations.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and other areas
What
of interest.
one at a time, man. We like to
Yeah,
do things
exactly.
properly.
But this
And
is
yeah.
this is one of the things too, where like, you know, something that you and I have talked about, where it's like, okay, it's I can't say it's as competitive as it gets, because there are definitely some more
Hmm.
competitive spaces, like, law
Right.
firms, which we work with, um but this is one of the things, because we see it especially on Twitter. You see a ton of home services and stuff, and like in tier 2, tier 3 cities, it's like, if you apply 70% of what we have done for this to those services,
Yeah.
like, you could probably even see results definitely similar, but potentially on a shorter timeline. So this is something, it gives us a lot of confidence when we're able to do this for these like white collar services, I guess we'll call them,
White
in
collar,
these
yeah,
hyper
yeah.
competitive markets, major markets. Like, when we're able to do this, it makes us a lot more confident in being able to replicate this in, of course, the traditionally less competitive or less optimized industries, which you see
Mhm.
a lot of in like home services and things like that.
Yeah, man, this is like tier one city, uh, tier one service. So when you take, as you said, like when you take this playbook and then put it onto like a tier two, tier three city or a less competitive service or both. So like we just done a video, an episode about just opportunities based on how competitive SERPs are. So if you do this
Yeah.
for example, what was one of the examples, man? Like a concrete
We had,
contractor,
yeah,
or like and even
tree services.
yeah, tree services and all these things in smaller metropolitans or smaller cities, then it becomes a little bit easier. And there's less sophistication as well. So what's important to bear in mind is a city like Chicago and then the vertical that we're talking about, every everyone's got big marketing budgets or bigger. Some of the competitors are doing digital plus offline stuff as well. So like there's a lot of money going out there that is trying to get eyeballs and attention. So when you do this on a service that isn't as I don't know topical as this one, then it does become a bit easier.
Yeah. Boom. There you have it. That was
Yeah,
great.
man.
And if anybody has any questions about any services or markets, again, like we talked about before, drop it in the comment
Yeah,
section. Like, we love looking at this stuff, and do it before we lose interest, or are
yeah,
inundated with other projects that we end up
yeah, yeah.
going into, because now's the time for us to just like, go into the sandbox. But yeah, so for the next one, what should we touch on? Where are we going?
We'll go back. It's been a while. So we have our own one of our building public sites. So tomorrow we'll just touch back on pool building co in Austin. So we'll just give everyone just a refresher on what that's looking like, and then yeah, I think that would be good enough for tomorrow. Just a refresher,
Cool.
refresher.
Yeah, I love it. I'm definitely excited to jump back into that one,
Which
especially
is
considering that it's damn near 100 degrees here today.
yeah, sitting. Oh man, yeah, not quite
Yeah,
that here, but yeah, again,
pool
like
season.
not quite a high tier service. Austin, still competitive, man, but we're not talking
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Chicago size. So, um, yeah, all these tactics that we do in these bigger cities, if you just do them, and if you're in a smaller city or less competitive niche, just lights up. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
expecting big things for our own asset.
Sweet.
Nice,
Awesome.
man.
All right, pool building manana.
Okay, man. Take it
All
easy.
right. Take care.